Hey, beautiful Pisces souls. I just sat down with my cards and wow, the energy coming through for you right now is absolutely intense. I'm talking about some serious karmic shifts happening around family dynamics and people who once seemed so close to you. The universe is literally reshuffling the deck right now. Let me share what I'm seeing because this reading gave me chills. I pulled cards specifically asking about this karmic energy you've been feeling around certain family members or close-knit groups, and the message is crystal clear. There's been laughter, there's been togetherness, but underneath it all, some pretty heavy karmic debts were accumulating. The first card that practically jumped out of my deck was the Five of Pentacles. And this is fascinating because normally we think of family issues in terms of emotional cards. But this card is showing me the material and spiritual poverty that's about to be revealed. See, Pisces, you've been the one holding space, the one giving, the one keeping the peace while others were taking advantage of your compassionate nature. This card is telling me that the people who laughed with you, who seemed like family, were actually creating their own karmic debt by using your generosity without reciprocating. What's beautiful about this card in your situation is that it's showing the truth coming to light. The Five of Pentacles often represents feeling left out in the cold, but in this context, it's showing that they are about to experience what they've been putting out into the universe. They've been spiritually and emotionally bankrupt while pretending to be rich in love and connection. The karma here is that their true nature is getting exposed. I'm getting goosebumps because the next card I pulled was the Seven of Swords. And this is where the story gets really interesting. This isn't just about theft in the traditional sense, but about people who have been taking credit for your ideas, your energy, your emotional labor, and your spiritual gifts. Pisces, you have this incredible ability to elevate others, to inspire them, to help them see possibilities they never imagined. And some family members have been stealing that light and claiming it as their own. The Seven of Swords is karma's way of saying that what was taken in darkness is about to be revealed in broad daylight. These people built their confidence, their success, their whole persona on borrowed energy from you. And now that the universe is calling in those debts, they're going to find themselves completely empty-handed. They literally don't know who they are without your support, because they never developed their own authentic selves. What's making me emotional right now is how the cards are showing me your journey through this. You trusted these people because Pisces energy is naturally trusting and giving. You saw the best in them even when they were showing you their worst. But the universe has been keeping track of every sleepless night you spent worrying about them, every sacrifice you made, every time you put their needs before your own. Now here's where it gets really powerful. The next card I drew was the King of Cups, but in reverse. And this is representing the family member or close person who has been the main orchestrator of this karmic debt. This person appeared to be emotionally mature, stable, someone you could count on for wisdom and support. But in reverse, this king represents someone who has been manipulating emotions, using guilt and obligation to keep you tied to patterns that serve them but drain you. This reversed King of Cups has been the puppet master, making you feel guilty when you tried to set boundaries, making you feel selfish when you wanted to focus on your own dreams. They've been emotionally manipulative while wearing the mask of someone who cares about family values and togetherness. The karma hitting them is that they're about to lose all emotional control and influence over others. I can see this person starting to panic as their usual manipulation tactics stop working. People are starting to see through the facade, and without your energy to sustain their image, they're crumbling. The king's crown is falling, Pisces, and there's nothing they can do to stop it, because this is divine justice in action. But wait, there's more to this story because the cards aren't done with me yet. I pulled the Three of Pentacles next, and this is showing me the false foundation these people built their whole family dynamic on. The Three of Pentacles usually represents collaboration and mutual support. But in this situation, it's showing me a construction project built on lies and exploitation. Think about it, Pisces. How many times were you expected to contribute your time, energy, money, or emotional support to family projects or goals, while others sat back and reaped the benefits? How many times did they celebrate achievements that were really your achievements, your ideas, your hard work? This card is showing me that the whole structure they built using your labor is about to collapse because the foundation was never solid to begin with. The beautiful thing about karma is that it's not cruel, it's corrective. These people are about to face the consequences of building their lives on borrowed energy. And while it might look like destruction from the outside, it's actually the universe forcing them to finally learn how to stand on their own. The problem is, they've become so dependent on taking from others that they literally don't know how to create value themselves. Here's what's making me tear up a little bit. The next card I drew was the Nine of Wands, and this is representing you, beautiful Pisces. You've been the wounded warrior, standing guard, protecting everyone else even when you were exhausted, even when you were hurt, even when you had every right to walk away. This card is showing me your incredible resilience and how you've maintained your integrity even when others were betraying theirs. The Nine of Wands is telling me that you're about to reach the finish line of this karmic cycle. All those battles you fought, all those times you stood up for what was right even when it was difficult, all those moments when you chose love over revenge, they're about to pay off in ways you can't even imagine yet. You're wounded, but you're victorious, and the universe recognizes your strength. But here's the thing that's really hitting me hard. These people who are about to face their karma, they're going to try to come back to you when their world starts falling apart. They're going to want to use you as their safety net one more time. And the Nine of Wands is your reminder that you've already fought enough battles for them. Your compassionate Pisces nature is going to want to help, but the cards are showing me that helping them now would actually interfere with their karmic lessons. The energy is shifting so dramatically because the next card that came through was the Ten of Swords. And before you panic, let me explain what this means in your situation. The Ten of Swords represents the final ending of a cycle of betrayal and deception. Those people who laughed with you while stabbing you in the back, their ability to hurt you or anyone else in this way is coming to a complete end. This card is showing me total mental and emotional exhaustion on their part. They've run out of schemes, they've run out of people to manipulate, they've run out of borrowed energy to sustain themselves. The Ten of Swords is dramatic, yes, but it's also liberation because it means the cycle of harm is finally over. They can't hurt you anymore because they have no power left to hurt anyone. What's really beautiful about this card in your reading is that it's showing the dawn breaking in the background. After the darkest night of betrayal and manipulation, truth is rising like the sun. Everyone is going to see exactly what these people really are. And more importantly, everyone is going to see exactly who you really are. The one who maintained grace under pressure, who kept giving love even when receiving none. Now I'm getting emotional because the next card is the Hermit, but this isn't about you being alone, Pisces. This is about you finally having the space and peace to connect with your own inner wisdom without all the noise and chaos these people were creating in your life. The Hermit is showing me that you're about to enter a phase of incredible spiritual growth and self-discovery. All those times you doubted yourself because they made you question your perception, all those times you wondered if you were being too sensitive or too generous. The Hermit is confirming that your intuition was right all along. You were seeing the truth even when everyone else was living in delusion. This period of reflection is going to be so healing for you because you're finally going to trust yourself completely. The beautiful thing about the Hermit energy is that you're not being isolated as punishment. You're being given sacred space as a gift. The universe is removing all the distractions and energy drains so you can finally hear your own voice clearly. This is when you're going to have those major breakthroughs about your life purpose and direction. But here's what's really making my heart race. The final card I pulled was the Two of Pentacles, and this is showing me how masterfully you're going to handle this karmic rebalancing. While these other people are falling apart because they don't know how to manage without taking from others, you're being shown as someone who can juggle multiple responsibilities and opportunities with grace and skill. The Two of Pentacles is telling me that you're about to discover talents and abilities you didn't even know you had. All that energy you were pouring into supporting others, all that creativity and problem solving you were doing on their behalf, you're about to redirect all of that incredible force toward your own dreams and goals. The results are going to be absolutely amazing. What's fascinating about this card is that it shows balance in motion. You're not going to become rigid or closed-hearted because of what you've experienced. Instead, you're going to become someone who can maintain your natural Pisces compassion while also protecting your energy and resources. You're going to help others from a place of overflow rather than depletion. I have to share what I'm sensing energetically because it's so strong. These people who are about to face their karma, they built their whole identity around being part of your story. They define themselves in relation to you, your achievements, your spiritual gifts, your connections, but they never did the inner work to develop their own authentic self. So when karma removes their access to your energy, they're going to face an identity crisis like nothing they've ever experienced. They're going to realize they have no idea who they are without you to define themselves against or steal from. This is going to be terrifying for them because they've spent so long avoiding their own inner work. The cruel irony is that if they had actually appreciated what they had access to through their relationship with you, if they had used your generosity to become better people instead of using it to avoid personal growth, this karma wouldn't be hitting them so hard. But they got greedy, they got entitled, and they forgot that everything in the universe operates on the principle of reciprocity. What's making me almost cry is thinking about how much you gave these people. Your time, your energy, your emotional support, your creative ideas, your spiritual insights, your financial help, your connections, your reputation. You gave them everything, and they took it all without gratitude, without reciprocity, without even basic respect for your boundaries. But here's what karma understands that they don't. Every act of genuine giving creates spiritual currency. Every time you helped someone without expecting anything in return, every time you sacrificed for the greater good, every time you chose love over selfishness, the universe was keeping track. That spiritual currency is about to pay dividends in your life in ways that will absolutely blow your mind. Meanwhile, every time they took without giving, every time they manipulated instead of communicating honestly, every time they chose their convenience over your well-being, they were accumulating spiritual debt. And spiritual debt always comes due eventually. Always. The timing of this karmic rebalancing is perfect because you finally reached the point where you're ready to receive all the abundance you've earned through your genuine heart and generous spirit. You've learned the lessons about boundaries and self-worth that you needed to learn. You've developed the inner strength to handle success without it changing your beautiful, compassionate nature. But they're not ready for what's about to happen to them. They haven't done the inner work. They haven't learned how to create value instead of just taking it. They haven't developed genuine relationships based on mutual respect and support. So when their house of cards collapses, they're going to have nothing real to fall back on. I keep getting visions of them scrambling, trying to find new people to manipulate, new sources of energy to drain, new hosts to parasitically attach to. But here's the thing about karmic cycles. Once the universe has marked someone as a taker, opportunities start drying up. People start seeing through their manipulation more quickly. Their usual tactics stop working. It's like the universe puts out an energetic alert that says, this person is not safe to trust with your genuine heart. Sensitive people, intuitive people, generous people like you start getting warning signals when these people try to approach them. The universe protects its genuine givers by making the takers more and more obvious. What's incredible is how this is all happening right now, during such a powerful time astrologically. Pisces, your ruling planet Neptune, has been creating these beautiful opportunities for truth to surface and illusions to dissolve. All the fake connections, all the false promises, all the manipulative relationships, they're all being dissolved so that authentic, nourishing connections can take their place. I'm seeing this whole situation like a detox for your soul, All the toxic people who were disguised as family or close friends, they're being removed from your energy field so you can operate at your highest vibration. And when you're operating at your highest vibration, Pisces, you're absolutely magnetic to authentic people who will love and appreciate you properly. The people who are meant to be in your life, they're going to start showing up in the most beautiful ways. These will be people who see your value immediately, who appreciate your gifts, who give back to you naturally without you having to ask or hint or manipulate. These will be people who enhance your energy instead of draining it. But back to these people who are about to face their karmic reckoning. I'm seeing them becoming increasingly desperate as their usual sources of supply start drying up. They're going to try every manipulation technique in their playbook. They might try to make you feel guilty. They might try to make you feel sorry for them. They might even try to make you feel responsible for their downfall. Do not fall for it, beautiful Pisces. Their consequences are not your responsibility. You didn't create their karma, they did. Your job is not to rescue them from the results of their own choices. Your job is to protect your energy and use it to build the beautiful life you deserve. I'm seeing them going through what I can only describe as a spiritual bankruptcy. Everything they built using other people's energy is crumbling, and they don't have any inner resources to rebuild because they never developed any. They spent so much time focused on taking from others that they never learned how to cultivate their own gifts. This is going to be especially painful for the ringleader, that King of Cups energy I picked up earlier. This person is used to being seen as the wise one, the stable one, the one everyone turns to for advice and support. But that reputation was built on stolen wisdom, stolen insights, stolen emotional labor from people like you. When the truth comes out about how they really operated, when people realize how much they took credit for other people's work and wisdom, their reputation is going to be completely destroyed. And unlike you, they don't have a foundation of genuine accomplishments and authentic relationships to fall back on. What's really heartbreaking is that they had every opportunity to do this differently. They could have used their relationship with you as inspiration to become better people. They could have learned from your example of generosity and authenticity. They could have developed their own gifts instead of stealing yours. But they chose the easy path of taking instead of the rewarding path of earning. They chose manipulation over honest communication. They chose exploitation over collaboration. And now they're going to learn the hard way that shortcuts don't lead to lasting success or happiness. I want you to understand something crucial, Pisces. This karmic reckoning is not happening to you, it's happening for you. The universe is clearing out everyone who doesn't belong in your next chapter so that you can step fully into your power without any energy drains or emotional vampires holding you back. Your next chapter is going to be absolutely incredible. I'm seeing you surrounded by people who genuinely appreciate you, who celebrate your successes, who support your dreams, who give as much as they receive. I'm seeing you in environments where your sensitivity is seen as a gift, where your intuition is valued, where your creativity is celebrated. Most importantly, I'm seeing you finally understanding your true worth. All those times they made you feel like you were asking for too much when you wanted basic respect and reciprocity. All those times they made you feel selfish for having needs and boundaries. All those times they convinced you that you should be grateful for scraps of affection and attention. That programming is being completely wiped clean. You're about to step into a version of yourself who knows without question that you deserve to be loved properly, supported genuinely, and appreciated deeply. You're going to stop accepting breadcrumbs and start expecting the full feast of love and respect that you've always deserved. The timing of all this couldn't be more perfect because you're also entering a phase of incredible creative and spiritual expansion. All that energy you were wasting on people who didn't appreciate it, you're going to redirect toward projects and purposes that light up your soul. The results are going to exceed your wildest dreams. I'm getting chills thinking about the projects you're going to create, the people you're going to help, the impact you're going to make when you're finally free from all these energy drains and emotional manipulations. Your natural Pisces gifts of intuition, compassion, and creativity are about to flourish in ways that will inspire everyone around you. But we're not done with this karma story yet, because I'm also seeing how this is going to affect the broader family or social dynamic. See, these people who are about to face consequences, they weren't just taking from you. They were creating a whole culture of exploitation and manipulation within your social circle. Other people were watching how they treated you and learning that this was acceptable behavior. Some people were even participating in the exploitation because they thought that was just how things worked in this family or friend group. But when the karma hits and truth comes to light, it's going to wake everyone up. People are going to start questioning everything they thought they knew about these relationships. They're going to start seeing patterns they missed before. They're going to start understanding how toxic dynamics were normalized and enabled. And a lot of people are going to feel really guilty about their own participation or complacency. This is actually beautiful because it means the healing is going to extend beyond just your personal situation. The karma is going to break cycles of dysfunction that have been operating in this social system for possibly generations. Patterns of emotional manipulation, financial exploitation, and spiritual vampirism are all going to be exposed and dismantled. Some family members or friends who were caught up in the toxic dynamics without fully realizing it are going to wake up and make amends. They're going to recognize their own behavior and work to do better. These people might actually become some of your strongest allies and supporters moving forward. But the core perpetrators, the ones who were consciously and deliberately exploiting others, they're going to double down on their victim mentality. They're going to blame everyone except themselves. They're going to try to paint themselves as the ones who were wronged, who were misunderstood, who were treated unfairly. This is actually perfect because it's going to make it even easier for everyone to see who they really are. When someone responds to consequences by playing victim instead of taking responsibility, it reveals their true character. People are going to see clearly that these individuals haven't learned anything and are still trying to manipulate their way out of accountability. What's fascinating is how the universe has perfect timing with karma. This reckoning is happening right when you're strong enough to handle it without being tempted to rescue these people from their consequences. A few years ago, you might have felt sorry for them and gotten sucked back into their drama. But now you can see the situation clearly and maintain your boundaries with love. You've learned that true compassion sometimes means allowing people to face the natural consequences of their choices. Rescuing them from karma would actually be cruel, because it would prevent them from learning the lessons they need to grow into better people. I'm also seeing how this experience has been preparing you to be a leader and teacher for others who are going through similar situations. Your story of breaking free from toxic family dynamics while maintaining your loving heart is going to inspire so many other people to stand up for themselves. You're going to become a beacon of hope for other sensitive souls who have been exploited by people who were supposed to love and protect them. Your example of choosing self-respect over people-pleasing is going to give others permission to do the same in their own lives. The ripple effects of your courage to break these cycles are going to be felt for generations. The children in your family are going to grow up seeing a different model of how relationships should work. They're going to learn that real love includes respect, reciprocity, and healthy boundaries. As I'm wrapping up this reading, I want to acknowledge how difficult this period has been for you, Pisces. Watching people you loved reveal their true colors is never easy, especially for someone with your tender heart. But I want you to know that your pain hasn't been in vain. Every moment of confusion, when you couldn't understand why they were treating you badly, every night you lost sleep worrying about their problems, every time you questioned your own worth because of their behavior, it was all leading to this moment of ultimate clarity and liberation. You've been through the fire, and you've come out pure gold. Your character has been tested and proven strong. Your heart has been wounded but not broken. Your spirit has been challenged but not defeated. You are absolutely magnificent, and everyone is about to see it clearly. The people who are facing karmic consequences right now, they're going to watch from a distance as your life becomes everything you ever dreamed it could be. They're going to realize too late what they lost when they chose to exploit instead of appreciate your beautiful soul. But by then, You'll be so busy enjoying your new life surrounded by genuine love and authentic connections that their regret won't even matter to you. You'll have moved so far beyond their level of consciousness that their drama will feel like background noise from a life you used to live. So Pisces, as this karmic storm swirls around the people who took advantage of your generous heart, I want you to stay centered in your power. Trust that the universe has perfect timing and perfect justice. Your reward for maintaining your integrity through all of this is going to be beyond anything you can imagine right now. The laughter they once shared with you while secretly plotting against you is going to turn to tears as they face the emptiness of their own creation. But you're going to be laughing with new people who genuinely celebrate your light instead of trying to steal it.